Right now, two different versions of you are reading this. One of them is calm, rational, thinking about what these words actually mean. The other one already decided how it feels. And the strange part is, you only think you are one person. You are not. Inside your skull, you are running two operating systems that were built at completely different points in human history, that process the world in completely different ways, and that are in quiet conflict with each other every single moment of your waking life. Neuroscientists call them System 1 and System 2. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman spent decades mapping the boundary between them, and what he found should make you question every decision you think you are making right now. System 1 is ancient. It is fast, automatic, and mostly invisible to you. It is the part of your brain that swerves before you see the obstacle, that flinches before you hear the sound, that decides whether to trust a stranger in the first tenth of a second before they have said a single word. System 1 does not think. It reacts. It pattern matches against millions of years of evolutionary data stored somewhere beneath your awareness, and it has already acted before your conscious mind even knows something happened. System 2 is newer, slower. It is the voice in your head that reads these words, that does math, that plans next Tuesday, that argues with itself about whether something is actually a good idea. System 2 feels like you. It feels like the one in charge. It is not. Here is the part that changes everything. Kahneman and his colleague Amos Tversky ran a now famous series of experiments in the 1970s and 80s that revealed something deeply uncomfortable. System 2, the rational one, the one that feels like you, does not actually override System 1 most of the time. Instead, it follows. System 1 generates a feeling, a gut reaction, a snap judgment, and then System 2 quietly builds a logical explanation for why that feeling was correct all along. You do not reason your way to conclusions, you feel your way there, and then you reason backward to justify it. Psychologist Jonathan Haidt named this the social intuitionist model. He described System 2 not as a judge, but as a lawyer. Its job is not to find the truth. Its job is to defend the verdict that System 1 already delivered. Think about the last time you changed your mind about something important. Really changed it. Not just updated a small fact, but genuinely reversed a deeply held belief. It probably did not happen because someone handed you a flawless logical argument. It happened because something shifted emotionally first. The logic came after. This is not a flaw. It is a feature. System 1 kept your ancestors alive in a world where slow, deliberate thinking could get you eaten. The brain that survived was the brain that acted first and explained later. You inherited that brain, but here is where it becomes a problem. The world System 1 was built for no longer exists. It was calibrated for a savanna, for a small tribe, for immediate physical threats. Every time you feel a flash of anger at a news headline, every time you make a snap judgment about a person you just met, every time you avoid something unfamiliar for no reason you can name, that is System 1 running ancient code in a modern environment it was never designed for. Researcher David Eagleman at Stanford has described the conscious mind as a kind of late arrival at a party that is already well underway. By the time you are aware of a decision, the decision has already been shaped. Your awareness is largely a story your brain tells about something that already happened. So what do you do with that? Kahneman's answer was not to silence System 1. You cannot. It is too fast, too deep, too wired in. The answer is to recognize the gap. To notice the moment between the feeling and the action. To ask, just once, whether the story System 2 is building right now is actually true, or whether it is just a very convincing defense of something you felt before you thought. That pause is the whole game. You have two different brains. You always have. The one that feels and the one that explains. The question is not which one is right. The question is whether you know which one is talking.